Welcome to our deep dive into the world of multifamily residence security. We're going to be talking about AC security and how they're at the forefront of a pretty big shift in the industry.
Yeah, it's really interesting. We're moving away from that old reliance on just having a bunch of guards on site. We're moving toward something much smarter, something much more tech-driven.
Tech-driven, huh? So,
Hmm.
how does that translate into better security for folks living in these residences? What's the big difference?
Well, then give it this way. Traditional security, it's mostly reactive.
Mm.
Something bad happens, alarm bells start ringing, then you got to respond.
Right,
But
right.
what we're doing at AC Security, well, we're using technology to kind of anticipate things,
Ah,
prevent those incidents from even happening in the first
I
place.
like that. Be proactive instead of reactive.
Mm.
So where does this proactive approach actually begin?
It starts right at the entrance, the first line of defense.
Mm.
And we're kind of reimagining that traditional concierge role with our, it's called the remote concierge system.
Remote concierge.
Yeah.
Okay, now that sounds pretty futuristic.
It does, but it's very real. So imagine you've got a highly trained operator sitting in our command center. They're equipped with all the latest video and audio tech. They're ready to help residents and manage all that access 24/7.
Okay. So no more just buzzing someone in. There's actual real-time interaction and verification happening.
Absolutely. And think about like subcontractors.
Oh, right.
Electricians, cleaners, instead of just scribbling their name on a sign-in sheet, their ID, it's verified remotely before they even, step foot in the building.
Now, that's definitely a big plus for residents.
Mm.
Always that concern about who's got access.
Right. Right.
But what about everyday stuff like package deliveries?
That's another area where this system really shines.
Okay.
Remote concierge can give delivery people very specific instructions, monitor the whole process with cameras, and make sure that everything's handled safely and securely.
Right. So it's not just about security then. It's making things easier, more convenient for everyone involved. It's got to be good for residents too.
It is. And, think about those times when a resident might need a little extra help.
Sure.
Lost keys or a door's not working properly. Remote concierge is there 24/7, like having a virtual assistant for the entire building.
I can see how that would really add to that sense of security and peace of mind.
Yeah.
It's like always knowing someone's got your back. But I'm also curious about the artificial intelligence side of things.
Yeah.
How's AC security using that to beef up security?
AI is where things get really, really exciting. We're using AI-powered cameras to go way beyond just recording.
Oh, wow.
I mean, these cameras can analyze situations in real time,
Yeah.
spot potential problems before they even, have a chance to escalate,
Okay.
like loitering, for example.
Loitering, huh? How does AI play into that?
Well, imagine an AI camera. It's monitoring an entrance, picks up someone hanging around a little too long, maybe acting a bit suspiciously. Bang, the system sends an alert straight to our command center.
Okay, so the camera is understanding what's going on, not just passively recording it,
Yeah.
but what happens next? What does the operator do? Just watch the footage.
It's more than just watching. They can assess the situation live, then follow, preset protocols,
Okay.
maybe a voice warning through the speaker system, or in a more serious situation, we dispatch a security team.
Wow, that's like having a security guard who never sleeps and reacts instantly. Pretty impressive stuff.
Yeah.
And is that AI being used for other things too?
Oh, absolutely. Like vehicle security.
Right.
We can set up these time alerts for vehicles in the lot. So if a car's parked longer than it should be, triggers an alert for us to check it out.
That's great for theft prevention
Mhm.
and for residents who might be concerned about, unauthorized vehicles. But what about the actual theft of a car? Can AI really help prevent something like that?
You'd be surprised. The system can detect unusual activity around vehicles. Someone messing with the locks or trying to break in.
Ah, I see.
Then the operator verifies it all through the live feed, and then they can trigger deterrents, lights, sirens, or even a voice challenge through the speakers.
So it's stopping the crime in progress, not just reacting after the fact.
That's exactly right. And that's just the beginning of what AI can do. Even something as simple as someone trying to sneak in through the parking garage door, we can catch that in real time.
Wow, so AI really is plugging those gaps that traditional security often misses. I know AC security doesn't stop there, though, right?
Yeah.
You've got some specialized solutions as well.
We're always trying to address those, specific security concerns like bike theft, which is a growing problem.
Right, especially with more people cycling these days.
We offer those secure bike storage areas. Access is controlled by those resident keys or cards, and it's all scheduled.
Makes sense. But what if someone forgets their key? Are they stuck?
Not at all. That's where our remote concierge comes in again.
Right, right.
They verify the resident's ID, and then they unlock the bike storage remotely.
That's great. So security and convenience all rolled into one. I like that. What other specialized applications are there?
We also manage remote gate and door control for the parking areas. Really helpful if someone loses their keys or needs a little help with vehicle access.
I see.
Our command center verifies their identity and gives them access remotely. And of course, we always maintain those high security standards.
Sounds like AC security has all the bases covered. But what about safety inside the buildings? Elevators could be a concern, especially with all these new safety regulations coming into play.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Elevator safety it's really important. And we've developed systems that tackle those new mandates head on.
Okay.
One of the key things they require is 24/7 operator support, which our system provides.
So if someone has a problem in an elevator, they're never really alone, right?
That's right. And it's not just about picking up the phone. We've got on-demand video access to those elevator cabins.
Oh, yeah.
So operators can actually see what's happening in real time.
That's got to be reassuring for residents. Knowing help is just a button push away, and someone can actually see what's going on. Can you walk us through how it works in an emergency?
Sure. Say a passenger hits that emergency button. A call goes straight to our command center, along with the elevator's location.
Okay.
Operator immediately accesses the live video feed.
Got it.
Then they can talk directly with the passenger through a touch screen in the elevator. Uses these preset text prompts.
Always.
They're designed to be clear and simple, accessible to everyone, so we can figure out what's happening fast.
Makes sense. So the operator can determine if it's, a real emergency or maybe a false alarm.
Exactly. And depending on how the passenger responds, the operator dispatches the right help. Could be building maintenance, an ambulance, fire department.
It's amazing how technology can connect people with help so quickly, especially when every second counts. And these new safety mandates, well, it seems like they're really pushing the boundaries of elevator security.
They are, and we're proud to be leading the way, making sure folks in buildings all across Winnipeg can feel safe and confident using their elevators.
This is all incredibly impressive. I know we've only scratched the surface of what AC security can do. We'll delve even deeper into AC security and their customizable solutions after a quick word from our sponsors.
We were talking about elevator safety before the break, a really important part of security in any multifamily building.
It really is amazing how technology can provide that instant connection to help, especially in emergencies where every second is critical. But what about security in other parts of the building? Common areas or those places residents don't usually go. How does AC security approach that?
Good question. We like to take a comprehensive approach, making sure every single area of a property is secure. For example, we use our camera network to keep an eye on areas like machine rooms and staff areas, even places like pools and gyms when they're closed.
No, I see. So if someone tries to get into a restricted area after hours, the system catches it right away.
You got it. And just like the other systems we've talked about, our operators can see what's happening through the live feed and take the appropriate action. Sometimes it's a simple voice warning. Sometimes it means sending a security team. It all depends on the situation.
Sounds like a pretty smart system that adapts to each unique situation. But I'm curious about how AC security integrates with existing building systems like fire alarms and other sensors.
Integration is a big part of what we do. We can connect seamlessly with a whole range of building sensors, from temperature gauges to glass break detectors. So if there's a sudden temperature spike in a critical area or a window gets smashed, our command center gets an alert instantly.
Ah, so much faster than relying on traditional methods.
Much faster. And it's not just about reacting to incidents. This integration allows us to be more proactive. Let's say a temperature sensor in a machine room picks up an unusual reading. We can look into it before it turns into a big problem.
So you're basically creating this web of protection around the entire property, leaving nothing to chance.
Yeah.
But what about those situations where a resident needs help immediately, like a real emergency? Do they always have to call building management or dial 911?
Not at all. We strategically place emergency intercom systems in key locations throughout the building. Places like pools, gyms, stairwells, hallways, even restrooms.
So residents can get help right where they are without having to search for a phone or track down a staff member.
Exactly. These intercoms connect directly to our command center. Quick and easy way for residents to report any type of emergency, whether it's a medical issue, a security concern, or even just needing help with a heavy door.
This is all really impressive. But I know managing access control for a large apartment building can be a huge headache for the building staff. How does AC security simplify that whole process?
We specialize in access control solutions. Take that burden right off the shoulders of building management. We handle everything from programming individual key cards and smartphone credentials to setting up custom access schedules for different parts of the building.
So no more hours spent manually programming keys and tracking down residents.
Exactly. It's much more efficient, much more secure. We can program access to every area, the main entrance, the gym, the pool, storage rooms, parking garages, you name it. And we can customize those access privileges for each resident's needs while still maintaining that overall security for the entire building.
That level of customization must be a game changer for building managers, especially with so many different needs to juggle. But what about those times when you need more than just cameras and sensors? What about good old-fashioned patrols to make sure everything's secure?
We have that covered too with our virtual guard tours.
Virtual guard tours, huh? What exactly is that?
Think of it as security patrols for the digital age. Instead of a guard physically walking around, our highly trained operators conduct these virtual tours using the building's cameras. They carefully review the footage at scheduled times, day and night, looking for anything unusual.
So it's like having a security guard who can be in multiple places at once, keeping an eye on everything.
That's it, exactly. And because our operators are trained to analyze footage and spot potential problems, they often notice things a physical guard might miss. Small leaks, signs of forced entry, even a resident who might be in distress.
Sounds incredibly effective for identifying and addressing those problems before they become big issues. I bet these virtual guard tours have some advantages over traditional security patrols, too.
Oh, definitely. They're much more cost-effective than hiring full-time security staff. Plus, they provide consistent, reliable coverage 24/7. So the property's always monitored no matter the time of day or night.
Seems like AC security has really revolutionized the idea of security patrols, made them more efficient, effective, and affordable. But I know you're also tapping into the power of artificial intelligence. I'm excited to hear how AC security is using AI to take security even further.
That's where it gets really exciting. We've got this cutting-edge technology called abnormal behavior AI. It goes way beyond traditional monitoring. It can actually detect unusual or potentially harmful behavior.
Abnormal behavior AI, that sounds incredibly advanced. What kind of things can this AI actually pick up on?
Imagine someone's trying to break into a car in the parking lot, or a resident slips and falls in the stairwell. This AI can recognize those situations and many more. It flags events that might indicate trouble or danger.
So it's not just motion detection or unauthorized access. It's actually understanding what's happening and recognizing when something's off.
Exactly, and it does it in real time. As soon as it detects something abnormal, it triggers a response right away, potentially stopping a minor incident from becoming a major problem.
That's incredible. It's like having an invisible guardian watching over the property, ready to step in at any moment.
You could say that. And this proactive approach really boosts resident satisfaction. People feel safer knowing their building is actively monitored and potential problems are handled before they have a chance to escalate.
Benefits everyone, both residents and building management. Residents get peace of mind, and building managers know they're doing everything they can to create a safe, welcoming environment.
Exactly. We believe this focus on proactive security, powered by technology like abnormal behavior AI, that's the future of security for multifamily residences.
It's amazing to see how far security tech has come and the potential it has. But let's bring it back to the here and now for a minute. What does all this mean for property managers and residents here in Winnipeg?
Great point. We need to understand how these advances in security technology can address the specific challenges we face in our own community.
For sure. So let's imagine we're a property manager responsible for a large apartment building here in Winnipeg. What are some of the unique security issues they might be dealing with?
Winnipeg has its share of crime, just like any city. Property managers are always looking for ways to deter criminals and keep their residents safe.
And with the rise of online shopping, package theft has become a real worry for residents.
Absolutely. Those packages left sitting on doorsteps are easy pickings for thieves. And don't forget about our harsh Winnipeg winters.
Right.
Icy sidewalks, slippery parking lots, they add a whole other level of safety hazards.
So property managers definitely have their work cut out for them. How can AC security help them overcome these challenges and create a safer environment for the residents?
That's where our customized approach and all our different solutions really come into play. We understand the challenges of managing a property in Winnipeg and can tailor our services to fit those needs.
Can you give us some examples of how AC security is helping property managers in Winnipeg improve security and tackle these local issues?
Sure. Let's start with package theft. Our remote concierge service can handle deliveries, making sure packages are stored safely, and residents get notified when their deliveries arrive. We even offer secure package lockers accessible 24/7.
That's great. No more worrying about packages disappearing from doorsteps. But what about security in those common areas, like parking lots and lobbies, especially during those dark winter months?
Our AI-powered cameras and virtual guard tours work wonders for deterring crime in those areas. The cameras provide constant surveillance, and the virtual guard tours allow us to catch any suspicious activity before it escalates. And of course, our operators are always ready to jump in if something happens.
Sounds like a level of protection that traditional security just can't match. Residents must feel a lot more at ease knowing their building is being watched over so carefully. But what about those winter-specific hazards we talked about earlier?
We can integrate with building systems to monitor temperature and snow accumulation. That means we can proactively warn building management about slippery walkways or snowed-in fire escapes, helping to ensure residents can move around safely, even during the worst winter weather.
It's amazing how technology can help us manage those everyday risks we often overlook. It's clear that AC security is doing more than just installing cameras and sensors. It's a holistic approach to security, combining technology with human expertise for a truly complete solution.
Absolutely. We believe that human oversight is crucial for effective security. Our highly trained operators are at the heart of what we do, and they're a big part of what sets us apart.
That human element brings a sense of reassurance and personalized service that technology alone just can't provide.
Exactly. And we're dedicated to working closely with property managers and residents to ensure our services are customized to their needs and that they feel supported and protected at all times.
It's obvious that AC Security isn't just a security provider. You're a true partner in creating safer, more secure, and more connected communities here in Winnipeg.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Hmm.
We're passionate about using technology to make a real difference in the lives of residents and building managers, helping to create a sense of community and well-being.
It's been an eye-opening conversation. We've learned so much about the latest advancements in multifamily security. But before we wrap up our deep dive into the world of AC security, I think it's important to acknowledge that security isn't just the responsibility of the security company, it's something we all share, from building management to residents.
I completely agree. We all have a part to play in keeping our community safe.
Absolutely. So what are some things residents can do to improve their own safety and security? How can they contribute to a safer environment for everyone?
Great question. First and foremost, be aware of your surroundings. Report any suspicious activity to building management or AC security personnel. Even little things like a broken light or an unsecured door can make a big difference in preventing crime.
And we can't forget those basic safety habits we should all be practicing, no matter where we live.
Right. Things like locking doors and windows, being careful about who you let into the building, and not leaving valuables unattended. Those simple actions can drastically reduce the risk of becoming a victim.
It's about being proactive, taking those small steps that can have a huge impact.
Exactly. If your building has security features like cameras or intercoms, learn how they work and how to use them effectively. It's also a good idea to take part in any security awareness programs or workshops offered by building management or AC security.
All great tips. And I think it's important to remember that a strong sense of community can be one of the best deterrents to crime.
Absolutely. Get to know your neighbors,
Yeah.
watch out for each other, and create an environment where everyone feels safe and connected.
What a great message to emphasize. Security is a shared responsibility. When we work together, we can create safer, more secure communities for everyone in Winnipeg.
Couldn't agree more. It's about building a culture of awareness, vigilance, and community involvement. When we embrace that approach, we all play a part in making our city safer and more welcoming.
Well, before we wrap up this fascinating deep dive, I want to thank you for sharing your expertise and insights. It's been a pleasure having you on the show.
The pleasure was all mine. Thanks for having me.
We've covered a lot of ground today. We've explored the amazing solutions AC Security is bringing to multifamily residences and the importance of collaboration in building truly safe and secure communities.
We hope this deep dive has given you the information and tools you need to take a proactive role in your own safety and the safety of your community.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this episode of The Deep Dive. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the future of multifamily security in Winnipeg. Until next time, stay safe, stay connected, and keep diving deep.